In a time long before our world learned the weight of obedience and the beauty of repentance, there lived a man chosen by Allah, a man whose story would echo through every generation that came after him. His name was Yunus, a prophet of truth, sincerity, and unwavering faith, sent to guide a people drowning in arrogance and disbelief. His heart carried a mission that felt heavier with each passing day. Yet he walked forward because he knew that Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. Yunus lived among people whose eyes were open but whose hearts were sealed, who saw the signs of Allah in the world around them yet refused to bow their heads to the truth. He spoke to them with gentleness, warned them with sincerity, and reminded them with compassion, hoping to soften even the coldest heart among them. But their pride became a wall that even the softest truth could not penetrate, and Yunus felt a sorrow that only a prophet could understand. Day after day, he called them toward the worship of Allah alone, urging them to abandon the idols carved from stone and wood. He pleaded with them to reflect on the blessings they took for granted, the sky above their heads and the earth beneath their feet. Yet their laughter echoed louder than his words, and their mockery grew sharper than their stones. The people pushed back against his message with defiance, refusing to believe that their actions could lead them to punishment or loss. They said his warnings were nothing more than empty threats, the ramblings of a man out of touch with their world. Each denial carved deeper into his heart, filling him with frustration and grief. Yunus watched them turn away repeatedly, and his spirit began to tremble beneath the burden of their stubbornness. He saw a storm approaching in their fate, a calamity that they refused to acknowledge despite every sign Allah had sent. His heart felt trapped between compassion for them and exhaustion from their rejection. As his warnings grew stronger, the people became more rebellious, mocking him openly and calling him a liar. They challenged him to bring the punishment he had warned about, thinking themselves invincible in their arrogance. Their pride blinded them to the mercy that surrounded them, and their fate crept closer as they mocked the one man trying to save them. In the silence of the night, Yunus wept in his prayers, asking Allah for strength to continue a mission that seemed impossible to complete. His tears soaked the ground where he bowed in sujood, and his heart trembled as he begged for guidance. But the people remained unchanged, and the weight of their darkness became unbearable. And so, overwhelmed by sorrow and frustration, Yunus made a decision that would become the turning point of his story. A decision he made in haste, not waiting for Allah's command. He walked away from his people, thinking that the punishment would soon descend upon them and that his duty was no longer needed. His footsteps carried the pain of 1,000 disappointments, yet he walked with the hope of finding solace somewhere far from their disbelief. As he left, a heavy storm began forming above the people, its clouds darkening the sky like a warning etched across the heavens. The people saw lightning tear through the sky and winds roar through their valley, and fear finally entered their hearts like a blade cutting through arrogance. They realized Yunus had spoken the truth, and their pride collapsed under the weight of terror. For the first time, they raised their hands to the sky sincerely, crying out for Allah's mercy with voices trembling from regret. The same mouths that once mocked now begged for forgiveness, and the same hearts that once rejected faith now broke in desperation. Allah, in His infinite mercy, accepted their repentance and lifted the punishment that was moments away from striking them. But Yunus, unaware of their repentance, continued his journey. Approached the shoreline. Allah commanded it to release Yunus safely onto the land. The whale obeyed instantly, rising toward the surface and gently placing Yunus onto the beach as calm waves washed over him. His body was weak, his skin burned from the whale's belly, and his strength seemed to have faded completely. But Allah's mercy did not leave him alone, for He caused a vine to grow beside Yunus, shading him from the sun and nourishing him with gentle leaves. Birds came near him, offering comfort by their presence as he regained his strength. Little by little, Yunus lay beneath the shade, reflecting on the journey he had survived, and gratitude filled his heart like water filling an empty vessel. When Yunus regained his strength, revelation came to him, informing him that his people had repented and turned back to Allah. His heart filled with astonishment and joy as he realized that Allah had accepted both his repentance and theirs. He rose with renewed purpose, feeling the warmth of Allah's mercy guiding him back toward the mission from which he once fled. When Yunus returned to his people, he found them gathered together in peace, their faces soft with humility, and their hearts open with faith. They welcomed him with tears of joy, grateful that their prophet had returned to them and that Allah had spared them from punishment. Yunus felt the weight of his mission return, but this time his heart carried it with gratitude rather than exhaustion. He taught them with renewed compassion, guiding them with wisdom shaped by the depths of the ocean and the darkness that had surrounded him. His voice carried the conviction of a man who had tasted death and been brought back by divine mercy. And as people listened with hearts ready to receive the truth, their land became a place of faith and remembrance, a testament to the power of repentance and the mercy of Allah. The story of Yunus lived far beyond his time, becoming a timeless reminder that no one is beyond the reach of Allah's mercy, and no mistake too great to be forgiven. His journey taught the world that repentance can change destiny, that sincerity can open doors even in the darkest places, and that Allah listens to every whisper of a broken heart. Generations after generations continued to whisper the prayer of Yunus whenever life pressed them into darkness. His supplication became the light for those in ways they can never imagine.